In the pantheon of heroes? Well, it's time for you to prove it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Of course, just the Gamer Smith back once again. Yay! Basically doing another troveness video. Yeah. Just basically, yesterday, I basically took a break from, well, I never took a break. I just basically, removed one of my videos yesterday from Trove because I've got loads of Trove videos, but I mean, I just want to take a break yesterday and just basically and do it that way. Just like I want to be able to try to get more stuff out there besides just Trove. Like I mean, if you look at it, same content over and over, it's just like it does get a bit boring at times. I would say that. Like, I mean, I know it's fun to watch somebody else doing like X number amount of stuff or whatever, but I was thinking about doing something a little bit different if I can actually do it. Like I said, if I had something else to be doing, like I said, with that, I'd like to be able to keep going with that. Anyway, how is everybody doing anyway, regardless of that? Hopefully everybody's doing good today. Like I said, it's just one of those things that I do health check every single day to see exactly, like I said, how if everybody is still alive and kicking or whatever the case may be. So yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. I like cheese. Gotta love that cheese. Cheesy. Yep. But anyway, regardless of that, just trying to get this done today. Like I said, trying to get Bomber Royale done right off the hop. Trying to get more grindage done. Trying to get more tomes done today because I need to be able to catch up on those. Yeah. But like I said, if you, like I said, are new to the channel, I feel like basically the channel itself, you can always hit that follow button. You can also check out my YouTube channel, so the link in the description itself. You'll be able to go in there and get some information as well. I'm always posting up there on my YouTube channel because, like I said, it's just a way of keeping an archive and stuff like that of my basically past experiences, stuff with my games and stuff like that. So yeah. I guess I don't mind sharing information and stuff like that with you guys, and so on and so forth. But it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, like I said, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing now in the next little bit because, like I said, I'm trying to get Bomber Royale done first. But while I'm waiting for that, I might try to get something else done, but I'm not sure. I do need more fire gem boxes because I am very low on those. Um, like I said, right now I'm actually at 91. I'm trying to get, I got a pinata. Ooh, and that is basically a pinata for the Paragon, of course. I got another trophy loop. Sweet. All right, that will basically eliminate another one, of course, and so on and so forth. I'm going to check up on my other things itself. Let me see. Oops. All right, we're just going to go in here. We got 37 out of 75, so I need a Paragon mark. They usually sell for a bit. Now, if I want to go for that one, now if I wanted to go for something else, because I want to go for the wings. The wings are a bit expensive. Like I said, there's two expensive things here, but actually, but the wings is the most expensive at all. Out of it all. So I'm looking at that, trying to get something like that. But like I said, I can always still get Walden if I wanted to decide to go in that direction. So let me see. I'm just going to get some more, basically 5 gem boxes as soon as I'm finished the PvP. Because like I said, I do try to do a PvP round every day. Because like I said, I'm trying to get the dragon and stuff like that. I'm trying to work on that. I try not to miss a step because, like I said, every day I'll get one fragment, so that's 100 coins of PvP, and like I said, so on and so forth. I'm about almost close to 40 fragments right now, about halfway of getting that dragon, so I want to be able to get that and be able to keep going with that. So yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things that I've been working on the last little bit, and hopefully I'll be able to get that soon. Like, I mean, I could do constant PvP and just get the dragon with, only a few days, but like I said, I'm working on another mastery too, so it's just one of those things. Anyway, like I said, once I'm finished with the other mastery and so on and so forth, I'll better keep going with that. Now, this guy is there. Oh. After me. Think. Where the heck is he to? Just gonna try to lock on. All right. Ooh. No! Crap. That's not good. Well, I'm not too much worried, but anyway. Well, I got 3 coins out of that, so that means saves me a little bit more. Now, I should have almost enough coins to do what I need to do, of course. Now I can go back and do my regular grind. Because remember, what I'm doing I'm doing 2 types of mastery right now. I'm not too much worried about the new areas, but I'm doing 2 types of mastery right now, and I'm trying to push that off. I'm trying to actually get the rest of PvP, and I'm also getting like the paragrammers at the same time. And once I'm finished with the PvP, I'll be able to actually do it that way and be able to get all the stuff in there. So right now I'm actually close to, I've got 70 coins right now out of 150, so I'm a little bit more than halfway. So that's good. But I don't know if I want to go for the wings, because the wings are here, which is 200. Or I can go for another one of these items down here. Because there's 4 items left in here, which is very easy to get. Then I can actually go for the dragon. Because I got 36 out of 100, so it's not too bad. I can always, like I said, grind PvP like crazy and just get rid of that. But like to say, the stage that I'm doing it at, I'm actually doing it so I can actually do multiple at once instead of me just worrying about it. Because I'm not too much worried about mastery itself right now. So, this is exactly what I'm looking at. So I got to go out and get some more fire gem dust and stuff like that and work on that as much as I can. And try to get that as quickly as possible, of course, to that point. So I can actually be able to benefit myself today. Because I want to be able to get some tomes and stuff done, and I want to be able to get a couple of things done. So I can actually push up on the stats and stuff like that of a character. So I can get more cores and stuff. And yes, probably later on I will be going back and play some more Hot Wheels and stuff like that. I know it's not the hottest title out there. I know, like I said, it's just something, different content to put on my channel. Because, I do have a lot of one type of game, and that's the thing. And I'm trying to not reduce it, but do just a little bit different in games that I do own, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what I'm thinking about doing. Like I said, I know, like I said, some games are hit or miss and so on and so forth. Like I said, I'll take my time with that, but just watching the same thing over and over, I would tell you, I would get bored of that, to that point. But it's fun. Like I said, Trove is a fun game. It's fun to watch as well. It's like playing World of Warcraft. Like, I mean, people still play. I watch people playing that, and like I said, as I said before, that's what Trove is. It's just another clone of World of Warcraft. It's just a little bit more, not the World of Warcraft. I mean Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, crap. And Trove is pretty much almost. Well, with stat wise, it's kind of almost the same, but I mean, not necessarily. But I mean, I don't know. I played so many of these. It's not even funny. But Diablo 3, basically, that's what a trove is. Diablo 3 mixed with Minecraft. That's why you get the blocky thing, you know. And people don't realize that until they actually start playing it. And then they start, if you ever decide to play Diablo 3, you'd be like, oh my god, this is so much the same. It's like, ugh. But it's the same grind, the same kind of like rarities and stuff like that, drop chances, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry if I did put in a World of Warcraft in there to a point. Basically, I loved playing the three games. But like I said, what ruined it for me for Diablo itself? It's just that too many hackers and stuff on the console here. On PC now, it's a little different. I know they do have control of the hackers and stuff to a point because it's a direct access to the server. But on the console, it's kind of hard to do that. So, it's just working with that and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind it at all to that point. Now, I've got another person. I think he's there maybe leeching. I don't know. Because he's just jumping around doing nothing. The Aztec Gamer. Excuse me. He must be a very old gamer if he's an Aztec. Ooh. Because, like I said, Aztecs are, what was it, dynasty gamers. Ooh. Very old school. But yeah, that's funny. Anyway, regardless of that, just basically grinding here, get more gem dust, make stuff work today if I could do it at all, and try to get exactly what's going on with my channel itself. I know what I'm doing with my channel. I just want to be able to have more different content and stuff like that. So I can actually try to basically fit everybody in. And it's really hard to do that sometimes, as I mentioned before in one of my videos. Like, I mean, it's just, like, I mean, when you're trying to actually do a channel and make it very successful to a point, like, I mean, just sticking to one game, it's fun. It's fun. Like, I mean, a lot of people stick with Dead by Daylight until they milk it to death and then go to move to something else. And I love, basically, I like doing that with Trove to a point because I've got like 100 and something odd videos just on Trove alone. It sounds like I'm using provolone, but no. I'm not doing cheese right now. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why in the heck. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Titty berry. Berries. I don't know if it's blueberries. Gotta love blueberries. Do 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 do. Flying across the lava. Gotta love that. Anyway, like I said, I do have a Birds of Paradise stat I could use for travel across this lava, but like I said, it's not much. Actually, it's almost pretty much the same speed as flying, so I'm not really gaining or losing anything from that. So, but it's all good. Anyway, regardless of that, like I said, I do play this daily. I mean, I try to do it in different times too as well. Like I said, I'm really, really late today because of the fact that I end up basically just sleeping and I'm just waking up myself. Like I said, every time I wake up, like I said, I've got a bit of dry cough and basically dryness. Like I said, due to medications and stuff like that. So, but it's all good though. Like I said, it's just one of those things that you got to deal with. Anyway, Uh, Regardless of that, I'm basically just looking for more dungeons. So I'll be able to go in there and get that done. And work. Oops. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, okay, that's good. Sweetness. Okay, there's a stellar there. Yum. Now, I do, however, support new players. Like I said, if you just come in, want to come in basically and get some stellars and stuff like that, get some stuff on the move, you can actually be able to just join on here if you're on the PlayStation 5 console. And of course, if you come into my channel, you can type in quotation game, and it will let me know what console, or if you're on PC or whatever the case may be, whatever you're streaming on. Hey, Flower, how are you doing, my friend? And how are you doing today? Of course, hopefully you're doing well. Like I said, yeah, I never dropped into your channel yet today. I will be supporting that later on, of course, basically to do it that way as always. Like, I mean, I'm just basically just waking up. Basically, I still need my coffee. I'm just basically doing pop right now, which is not doing nothing for me. So yeah, I just basically got to get my day rolling, you know. And so, like I said, how are you doing? How are you doing overall? Oh, and how is Flower doing as well? Hopefully she's doing good as well. Like, I mean, I always like to see you two streaming and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun. Just basically doing it that way. So yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm looking for. Yeah, let me see. Trying to get my dailies done, of course, and I'm trying to get a couple more boxes and stuff like that. Like I said, Trove is a different type of game. Like, I mean, some people do like watching people play it. Some people, like I said, just because you're dealing with all the numbers and stuff like that, some people just don't get the way to play it. But I can understand that too. Like, I mean, it's all the choice of the games. Like I said, some people like first-person shooters because it's just what it is. It's a lot. To me, it's a lot easier to get into a shooter game than doing these type of games because, like, I mean, even when I was looking at another person's basically stream, and they were saying basically a lot of the games like this is actually dying out. Well, it's not dying out itself. Like, I mean, they do last for years. The only problem is, it's like this. When it comes to like games like this, basically, you've got to know how to play them, and that's the biggest thing. You've got to know exactly what stats to do. What, like here, you got to know how to read gem stats, like what a gem does, what it's going to benefit you, and so on and so forth. If it's going to keep you alive, or is it going to do what? And do the combinations to basically do that. Like, I mean, it's a combination of doing max damage, and then it's max survivability, and so on and so forth. And I mean, what I mean by max survivability is where you don't have to use potions unless you direly need to do so, and so on and so forth. And that makes a big, huge difference. Like, I mean, I turned around and looked at exactly what it is, and, you know, it's just working with that itself and trying to get that done. And, you know, and like I said, try to teach people how to play these. It's a lot of information in these games. Like, I mean, if you're just newly starting off. Now, if you're basically a return player, like, I mean, you could be missing a lot of mastery and stuff like that, too, as I mentioned before. Like, I mean, I like I said, I digress on so much stuff in this game. Like, I mean, you're dealing with, like, how to basically to do damage. And like I said, sometimes you sacrifice a little bit of damage versus survivability. And if you can actually make something that can survive, that means you're doing less on the potions, less on basically just resetting yourself. What I mean is, how can I say this? It's resetting yourself is when you die. Like, you got to go back to a certain point or whatever the case may be. And like I said, yes, with Trove, you can actually move your point. But certain games out there, you can't basically reset your point, because what happens is you don't have a tether to do that. So, like, I mean, that's one good thing about this game itself. You got a tether, basically you can set it to where you want to and be able to do it that way. So that's exactly what I like about this game, because of the fact that you can actually do that. But there's a lot of stuff in this game that is a good plus. Like I said, if you get into these, like, I mean, you can actually be able to play these and learn a lot of stuff about how mechanics and stuff like that works in the game. Like, I mean, if you want to learn mechanics, well, you can go back and do some building and stuff like that. So, like, instead of just worrying about the stats, like for me, like I said, when you've got like streamers that I deal with and basically visit from time to time, like Sir Douglas Fresh is one of the people that I deal with on here, which is fine. But the only thing is, he himself don't worry about the stats. He basically, all he cares about is just basically doing the builds and doing whatever. And that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, it's a different way of doing this game itself. And, like, I mean, it's not one way is right or the other way is right. Like, I mean, two of it can be combined together. Depends on what you want to do, you know. And like I said, if you want to have fun one way, like I said, just mess around with things, that's one way of doing it. Or you can go along and do whatever you need to do. Like, I mean, it's just different. Just absolutely different. And that's exactly what I look at, you know. Like, I mean, that's one good thing about Trove. Like, I mean, you can go along and go collecting like blocks, and like I said, make mini games and stuff like that. It's like I said, it's like Minecraft. The only thing is, with Minecraft itself, you've got the electrical system, which is a little bit different, because you got your switches and stuff like that. But overall, the game is pretty much the same. Like I said, when it comes to that, like, I mean, they did combine two of the best games. Well, I'll say best games to a point that people play. Like, people still play Diablo 3. And it was one of the longest games, if not the longest game, because you got to remember, Diablo started way back in the 90s. Like, I mean, and that was back in Diablo 1 and so on and so forth. So, like, I mean, all he did is basically made a clone of that. So, like, I mean, it like I said, in that direction. So what I mean is, when it comes to stats and stuff like that, basically you get your gems, you got everything that way, and that is what makes this game a little bit different, but not necessarily. What I'm saying is, when you get gear, like I said, Diablo 3 is bent on gear, and basically Trove is bent on gems. Like, I mean, your gems is almost equal to Diablo 3 gear. To that point. Like, I mean, they do have the powergram system, they do have everything that is in Diablo 3. The only thing is, with it, basically people do get fooled by, like I said, just having the graphics. The graphics will actually give you, like, what to do. Because, like I said, people look at cartoonish graphics and stuff like that, and, you know, it's what it is. Like, I mean, you get, as I said, sometimes it's not about the graphics, it's about the gameplay. And if the gameplay is there, like I said, I'm an OG. But if it's there for an OG, like, I mean, if you want to learn how to play it and so on and so forth, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a lot of fun to play it. It's a lot of fun to learn a new system. Because it is, well, actually, it's not a new system. It's been around for a long time. But when it comes to, like, overall aspect of doing the game itself, like, I mean, it's just this starting system has been around since, I think, like, the 1998 and 99, when it came to, like, picking up the first sword, or, like I said, a first piece of armor, or whatever the case may be. It's very old. Like I mean, I can go back if I'm talking about like weapons and stuff that you can collect, and I mean literally, I can go back to Star Tropics even for the regular Nintendo. A lot of people don't know what the game is, but it's basically all to do with the storyline of a kid. And what it is, it's more to going around to about. How can I say this? He starts off with a yo-yo, a baseball bat, and whatever the case may be. He's got to finish the first dungeon, and so on and so forth. It's basically gaming history itself. Like, I mean, I end up basically playing that game. You can actually download it on your emulator right now, and basically play it off your PC. It's a hard game. It's a really hard game, but it's actually still a lot of fun. Like, I mean, you basically can always check that out if you do want to run emulations, because the game is very hard to get. It's very hard to find and to market. I can't say it's impossible, but it was, like I said, it's one of those games that it remained a classic and still is the classic today. And I mean a classic to be in difficulty as well, because it was one of the hardest games to complete. People would be like, oh, yeah. But yeah, and like I said, for the RPG side of it, like I mean, Star Tropics was one of the most craziest games I ever played, and one of the most hardest because of what you had to do. Yeah, like I said, you only had a small life bar when you first started, and you only had a certain amount of weapons and stuff. Like I said, your weapons were like I said, crap when you first started, and you build it up, and whatever the case may be. So yeah, but anyway, regardless of that, hopefully everybody's doing good today. Of course, like I said, there's basically. Trying to get some more gem dust here, of course. Trying to get that done for today. Like, I mean, I'm trying to get about 200 boxes, but I'm not going to get those done today. I'm also working on my paragram as well, and also to get more of my basically tomes done, because I missed a lot of it last week because where I was actually off-timed by, like I said, meds and stuff like that. So I'm actually trying to catch up with that this week. Like I said, I've got all the main tomes done for last week, but I missed a couple that I could have actually made extra flux and stuff on, and so on and so forth. But it does happen from time to time, so, you know. But anyway, regardless of that, I'm looking at trying to get, let me see, how many more boxes do I need? Let me see. I'm not talking about these boxes. Those are actually old boxes I don't use anymore. But I'm talking about these. I got 127 of the mix. So that means I'm getting close to about 150. So that's not too bad. I got to get rid of this. Get rid of that. Done and done. Yeah, like I said, I don't use potions or nothing on my characters. And I never use potions in a long time just because I find that if I'm using potions and stuff like that, like, I mean, I use it for doing multi-damage. Like, I mean, if I use it, I get a proc, I'll get everything else to work, and so on and so forth. And that's exactly what I use it for. I don't use it for nothing else. Because, like, I mean, I see people doing different builds. I like to I like to work outside the box. I don't copy nobody else's build. I don't basically be one of those, oh man, I'm going to go along and use death defying, and I'm going to use unyielding, I'm going to use all this stuff. I don't even use that. Basically, what I do is read what the gem does in the game itself and actually make it work. What I mean by make it work, I use a combination of gems. And basically, if I'm looking for survivability, I'm making a survivability character. If I'm looking for a grinder, like, I mean, I'll show you exactly what I mean in a second. Next run or the next boss, I should be able to do that. Now, I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to use a potion here, and I can actually go along and do that much more damage just because. It's a little bit faster the way I do it. But like I said, if I'm using like a potion, it's only a few seconds anyways of that extra damage. And like, I mean, it helps me a little bit with doing by speed running the dungeons. But of course, I've got no way to actually replenish them. So I've basically done it this way. Like, I mean, some people use the identifying because it's the auto pot system. I don't like the auto pot system because I find if I take a little bit of damage or take too much damage itself in U11, I find actually I'm constantly potting and potting and potting, and I just don't like doing that. At least with a Shadow Hunter or anything that can be squishy, because as you notice, I'm only getting a little bit of HP, just enough to see myself through, and that's just it. And like I said, if I take too much damage and stuff like that, there's no way for me to get my health back and whatnot. So that's exactly what I look at. Like, I mean, I can do, like I said, I can do about 135 Delphine with this one. Like I said, it's the highest I can actually get. But I just don't try to push it up any higher than that because, it's, like I said, it just does that little damage because of the light and stuff. Now I can actually go along and swap out my stats, which is really easy to do. Like, I mean, to that point of doing the gems. The gems itself, I can swap out this guy here, Vampiric Vanquisher, which is keep me alive, with a Berserk Battler, and I can use it for more light. That's all I'm going to get out of it. So if I'm only doing a U11 grind, this is exactly why I build my characters the way I do, because I'm looking at the two concepts in this game itself, working with the mechanics itself, and try to boost up as much stats as possible without worrying about, like I said, dying, resetting myself, and so on and so forth, or worrying about potions. Like, I mean, there is a point of actually doing the potions itself. Like I said, I don't know, like I said, how successful, like I said, getting potions back is with some of the updates, because I know people do it just a little bit differently than what I do, but I made this build so I can actually not die at all in the game. I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to use the potions unless I'm doing want to do over damage and so on and so forth. And I won't say over damage because it's just a buff that only lasts a couple of seconds and so on and so forth. But it's a different way of playing it. Like, I mean, it still gets my dailies done. It still gets everything done. So, yeah. Like I said, I do lose a little bit of damage versus because I don't have the full light. But on the other hand, I still do what I do and still be able to survive. Like, I mean, I can go to all the maps and stuff like that. And I do constantly do grind in U11. Like I said, in that direction. So I'm always basically looking for, like, to get more crystalline gems, getting all that stuff, which I basically can easily do anyways. And like I said, I don't slow down on my grind, as you notice. Like, I mean, I can do this same thing with all the Ubers. Now, I do have a character that's coming up in the next little bit, which is basically my Solarian. It's almost close to the 42k mark right now. And of course, I'm working on my gunslinger at the same time as well. So I'm working on a couple of basically the delve characters. Delves are the hardest thing in the game to get anything high level into it when it comes to static, because you got to have the stats to push yourself even higher. But you remember, if you're stuck at, like I said, a Uber 11, and you can just go just a little bit higher in the delves, well, you're not doing too bad, actually, to be exact. If you can still do, like, the Uber, like I said, Uber, I think it's like Uber 9 or Uber 10 in the delves, and you can actually push off like 127, you're still getting all the bonuses. The only thing you don't get is the purple name. And the purple name, to me, doesn't matter nothing to me. Like, I mean, yes, I could get it, but the only thing is, like, I mean, it doesn't give me stats. It doesn't give me nothing that helps me. And that's exactly why I don't try to get that, because it's just like, why am I going to try to get that when there's no point to it? So, you know, it's completely different. Like, I mean, like I said, when it comes to Trove, like World of Warcraft and different games, all the grinders and stuff that's out there. Like I said, you got to know exactly. Well, World of Warcraft is one of the easiest games I find. But when it comes to, like, Trove and Diablo, Like I said, those games you get to know how to play it. Like I mean, if you don't understand the concepts, then it's more frustrating and it's more confusing, and that's exactly what happens. So, like I mean, it's like I mean, I've been playing these games for a very long time. Like I mean, I started back in the regular Nintendo. Like I said, with Star Tropics and so on and so forth. And that's one of the very first RPGs that I know of. But like I said, when it comes to that, it's not the very first RPG because I know the Atari 2600 had a couple of them too, but I'm not counting those itself. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to graphics, I mean graphics wise and so on and so forth, that would be the first one that will pop up in my head, basically do it that way. So yeah, this should be able to help you out quite a bit too. Like I mean, if you get any questions or like that, or like I said, want to leave comments, like I said, you can always check my YouTube channel, and that's always open as well. And like I said, if you want to ask questions on these type of games itself, you can basically do so. Feel free to do so, and I'll be able to answer all the questions that you will actually need in that direction. Like I mean, I'm always working on something, and that's exactly what I do. And I love working on these things because it's just one of those things that it's not a boring game. It's absolutely not. Like I mean, to a point. Like I mean, once you get into it and you want to be able to grind and you'll be able to actually see exactly what you can do with a character. Like I mean, as I said before, I normally don't give off builds and stuff like that on my channel, just because I like to be able to people for basically the gamers do basically test it stuff on their own. So, like I said, instead of me have to go along and say, okay, this is how you do, this is how you do, this is how you do. When it comes to builds, I like to be able to see exactly what a person can actually do, and that makes a difference. Like, I mean, if you're basically rolling with me and you got like X number amount of light, you got X number amount of stats. Like, I mean, that's exactly what you can be rolling with. And like I said, if you're working on your characters and stuff like that, like I said, your dragons is pretty much the main basis in this game itself. When it comes to like your drop chances and stuff and getting rare items in the game, like I said, the more dragons you have, the better chances of getting that item. Now, I'm looking for something. I can't find it right now. I don't even know. Okay, I've got my data done right now, so I'm working on my gems. Oops. Going down, going down. All right, cool. So we're down into the bottom of the pit. Whoops. And got into another dungeon. All right. I'm going to open up some boxes. I think, yeah, this is gem day anyways. So I should have about almost 150 right now. So what I'm going to do here is open up a couple things and make that work. Now, 146 and 57. So I got pretty much 200 boxes. Let's see what we're going to get from here and see how many cores we can get, because cores is one of the main things to get in here as well. I always basically use a reference of another game. Now, like I said, there's similarities to the games itself, what I mentioned, and so on and so forth. But, like, I mean, this system has been going around for a long time. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to, like, having more complex system as they were going, like, I mean, the beginning of something, like the beginning of stats and stuff like that, and how things were basically progressing, like I said, over the years, it's what happens. Like, I mean, you add more and more to the game, you add more graphics to the game, but the concept is pretty much the same. Like, I mean, it's still a grind, it's still be able to get this and that, whatever the case may be. You basically defeat a boss and go, done, and so on and so forth. And, yeah. But it's all good, like, in that direction. But right now, I'm actually looking at something, and I don't know. Let me see. I got 28 boxes left on net. Like, I mean, if you pick up the two games, like I said, Diablo 3 and Trove is free. Diablo 3 is free to a point. Um, but it does have, like I said, that buy the game first. Ooh, look at a 666. Ugh. Uh, but yeah, like I said, the game is still actually fun. If you're basically getting into numbers and stuff, and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, you can check up on the gaming history what I'm telling you about because, like I said, if you did like to do so, because the gaming history is a lot of fun to deal with. Now, I got this thing. I try to kick my ass in there. There we go. We got rid of that. All right, and we're just gonna open ourselves. Do do do. All right, we've got 18 more of those. All right, good, good. Sweetness. But like I said, one thing about this game as well, like I mean, all your gear, you don't lose it. You don't need to repair it. Basically, you just need to grind it. This game is basically a little bit easier than Diablo 3 to a point, but Diablo 3 has got a little bit more crafting and stuff like that to a point. Like I said, to a certain extent. Now, growing your gear is roughly about the same. Like with the Chaos Sparks is like getting like basically the butterfly wings and stuff in Diablo, and it's just that the basically your pieces and stuff like that to roll your gear. Because you can still roll your gear and stuff in Diablo, Diablo 3. So yeah, because you got the Canals Cube, but when you actually get into the game, it's like done. All right. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm just basically still grinding here for a little bit more. I'm going to try to get my big bombs done, big bomb home, and try to work on that as well. Now, let me see here. No, just keep on moving with that. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice. All right, we're basically opening boxes right now. Ew. All right. And I'm trying to reduce these boxes because once I get up to a certain number, it does get a bit harder to actually open up the box. It's not harder to open up the boxes, but where I get limited storage space, it just gets a little bit more. Now, I've got to see about something else in the marketplace. I do have that. I do have that. I do have these. Standard block recipe, and I think, yep, I can actually cancel that. And I don't need the standard block recipes, but I can get rid of those. Let me see. 38k, 1k a pop, so I can go for 900 on those. I'm losing a little bit of flux, but between 34 and 38, there's not much difference. I can actually do it that way, so I can get rid of those because I don't need those right now. I know how to get those. I can go along and do some more mining, and that's how you get those. Let me see. And it's simple mining. Like, I mean, I could go along and do not primordial flames, but do stuff in Candoria, and just pop them up like crazy. So it's really easy to get those. It's like doing the Golden Souls. Golden Souls is just one of those things. Now, let me see here. I just want to be able to make more inventory space because I don't have much. And if I can make an extra little bit of flux, I'm going to do that because flux is one of the main things in here that you use as currency, of course. Ooh, I got an arcane, 561. Eek. All right, that's trash. I don't want a 561. I want to be able to have a good bit higher than that because I don't want to have to augment that to try to get stats. It's just waste of my time. Oops. No, I gotta stop doing that. All right, stop rolling. Let me see. What I'm gonna do here is try to get rid of some of these boxes because I got too many of them. I've got 80. Let me see here. Now, all right. Slowly getting my numbers down, of course. Whoops. like I said, this game is a heck of a lot of fun. I wish it was actually more popular on console and more PC players. I find plays on there, like I mean, to that point, and I find it's a lot. It's quite more interesting. Like I mean, because you've got the mods and stuff you can add to the game, and that's something you can actually look into as well. Like I mean, if you ever decide to play the game, if you do have a PC, you can actually look into the PC version of it because the console version is that you don't have the mods, you don't have the different things into it. Like I mean, you can actually find a mod is mob MLB mod that will actually signify what you have, ascending with drops and stuff like that. If it's a shadow, if it's a stellar, like I said, with the console version of it, like I said, you've got to literally pick it up or look at it. But on the PC, you don't have to do that. You just go along and kill stuff, and it's going pop, 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 and so on and so forth. So you don't have to worry about what you're picking up, and so on and so forth. So, like I mean, to me, the console is a little bit lesser to that point. So, like I mean, like not because you don't have the mods to it, and you can't. I don't think you can add actually mods to the console. Like I said, there is no option for it. Like I mean, in when you go into your, like I said, you go into your options. You can actually go in and use mods. It'll basically have a mod list that you can turn it on and off, or whatever the case may be. But the console doesn't have that option. I guess that's why another reason why it's actually more popular on there as well on PC because of that reason. But it's still a lot of fun to play. Like I said to that point. Plus, it's a free download for every single platform. Like I mean, you can basically download it and basically do it that way. So yeah. Now I'm looking for. I got 14 boxes left. Now I've got to go along, and I'm gonna keep one box because I'm gonna stay here for a little bit and do some more dungeons and stuff like that because I'm gonna need a lot of stuff still. And I'm just gonna leave one box so I don't have to waste up another slot since I'm still in this area. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. That'll leave one box there for that, and then I can actually go ahead and grind a little bit more, and basically just stack up more gem dust, of course. Anyway, like I said, I was basically, like I said, I love this game a lot. I love Trove because of the fact that it is a relaxing game. Like I said, if you do have like serious ADD and ADHD problems, like I said, it basically doesn't trigger. It doesn't trigger a person, which is a good thing, and so on and so forth. It's more of a relaxed game. Like I said, it reminds me, like I said, of Diablo 3 to a point. With a lot of the concepts are pretty much almost a clone of each other, and so on and so forth. So yeah, but it does have the Minecraft feel too for building and stuff. So yeah, so that's what I like about this game because you can do whatever you want in this game to a point and be able to do stuff with it. So yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, looking at my map right now. I might have to reset my map. That's what it looks like right now. And let me see. I've got my bombs almost completed, and I'm basically working on that. Like I said, these type of games, the grinders itself, like I said, it's not for everybody because it's a lot of information you need to first when you first start playing. But you're also slapped with a lot of information, basically, too. Like, I mean, you get basically the construction system, your starting system, and so on and so forth. Plus, it's pretty much a numbers game itself. Like, when it comes to how much damage you can put out, and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to go to character sheet right now. I'm going to go to stats. Basically, all these numbers is what I'm getting at right now currently. That's exactly what I look at. And when it comes to that, like, I mean, like I said, the playing the numbers game itself, like how much critical you do, how much damage you put out. Like I said, then you got to look at survivability and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what I look at it. So I look at this game as a lot of fun, but you need to know how to play them. Like I mean, it's just not just hopping into the game and be able to do that way and to say, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, that's why I've got a YouTube channel. I've got everything explains these type of games. Like I mean, I might even think about going back to Diablo 3 to show you basically the differences and stuff like that. I do have a lot of characters that's already maxed out on there, but I still am working on a few. So like I mean, I'm always going back and forth between the two, and so on and so forth. Now I don't stream much of Diablo 3. That's the thing, but it's what it is, you know. And like I said, I do enjoy, like I said, these type of games. But like I said, it is a lot of information when you first start, and that's something that gets people because they'd be like, "Why in the heck do I need to learn a brand new game?" Or "Why do I need to do this?" Just because, like I said, there's a lot of games out there like this. It's been going around since, like I said, very early. But the only thing is, it's it's how you play the game itself. Like I mean, if you want to do max damage, you want to do survivability, you want to make a tank. Like I mean, if you want to make a tank, you go along and use all HP and make it super tank. I'll show you what I mean in a second. When it comes to selecting your class, my Candy Barb right now, you might find this funny, but I'll show you exactly what my tank looks like. I've got like a lot of HP on this one. And I made this one specifically made it as a tank because this is an old build. It still works. It just people don't use the character anymore because it used to be used for basically like I say for the buffs and stuff like that, for damage buffs, for speed buffs, because there is a skill on here. This is 11 mil HP. But what I did with that character, I made it so it can survive, and so I can give people the buff, and so on and so forth. And like I said, just to get them basically at the very beginning of this game, candy barbs were very useful, especially if you're doing the shadow towers and stuff like that. They're not so useful and added to the game. A lot of stuff being changed. So you know, it's just one of those things that if you look at it itself, you'll be able to actually see exactly what the game's been changed. Like I mean, it's not a major change. It's just how people play and so on and so forth and what they do. Like I mean, if you don't have a certain material and stuff like that, you can actually be able to do it that way. So yeah. So like I said, that's exactly what I look at right now currently is that itself. Anyway, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to end my stream. I'll be on later on again. And thanks for tuning in, guys. So hopefully you have a great day. And hopefully be able to see you once again on here. Like I said, I do multiple streams daily. Or I try to sometimes. Depends on my schedule and stuff like that. So peace for now, guys. Have fun. And have a good one.